President Biden and the media are excited that the dollar could go digital.
Central bank digital currencies.
The world is going to see a functioning CBDC very soon.
A CBDC, that's a national digital currency controlled by the feds.
When you use your wallet to pay for something, the Fed would take the digital cash out of your wallet and deposit it into the merchants.
I think it'd be a total disaster. Sometimes government does things that may appear to be benevolent, but really are kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. This is a wolf coming as a wolf.
For months, I tried to get Governor DeSantis to do an interview. The government's plan for digital money got him to say yes. The media make it sound like it's a great thing.
Well, if you don't care about your privacy and you want the government to have even more control over the economy, then maybe it is. But if you don't trust central authority, then you should see this immediately as something that is very problematic.
But a lot of people do trust central authority. I'll read from the President's executive order on responsible development of digital assets. This will protect consumers, investors, and the environment.
That last one's a tell, because I think they would impose certain criteria. You're filling up too much tank of gas. Wait a minute, climate change, you can't be doing that. You bought another firearm? No.
And if you do buy or do the wrong thing, they can easily cut off your money. Freedom! That's what Canada's government did when these truckers protested vaccine rules.
If your truck is being used in these protests, your corporate accounts will be frozen.
When the government did block their bank accounts, that stopped the protests. Control over an American digital dollar would give our government even more power.
They want to impose ideology through the economy.
DeSantis is so upset about this plan for a digital dollar, he just persuaded Florida's legislature to ban its use in his state. This will be a national issue. Why is it the business of a governor?
Look, this is part of our role. There's a back and forth between the federal government and the states, and so we're pushing back against things we don't think are good. What we did at the state level is protect Floridians against a unilateral action by either Treasury or the Federal Reserve. They do not have the authority to do that.
He says what the Fed is doing may not even be legal.
The Federal Reserve has come out and said we would only do it after, quote, consulting with the legislative and executive branches. Ideally, we get specific congressional authorization. Wait a minute. It's not ideal that you get that's what the Constitution requires.
The advocates make a digital currency sound so good.
As trusted as cash, as convenient as a payment app, yet also benefit from the same blockchain technology which underpins cryptocurrencies.
Make cross-border payments easier, promote financial inclusion, and payment system stability.
When I started talking about some of the dangers from privacy and all that, the corporate press, all these outlets, they all of a sudden started converging that DeSantis is trying to promote conspiracy theories.
They basically hate you.
Part of that is true, but I think part of it is this is something that they care about. And the question is, why would these organizations care so much about a central bank digital currency? Is it really because they are really that invested in cross-border transactions? Of course not. It's because this is something that could help them advance their ideology of having more central authority and more supervisory power over the average American.
But if the Fed doesn't develop its own digital currency, America's going to fall behind. Wall Street Journal.
The U.S. financial system is still pretty old school when it comes to moving money around.
And that's not a great way to run a modern global economy.
Oh, please. They want to move to a cashless society, which would basically mean the Federal Reserve, Treasury Department would have supervisory jurisdiction over all of your transactions.
It's true that sometimes people use cash to buy illegal things, but cash has advantages.
Cash is independence. You have the cash in your wallet, you can go, you can make these transactions. It's not dependent on somebody else.
It's private.
It's private.
So is cryptocurrency. It lets people buy things without government money. Some in government don't like that.
Legitimate digital public money could help drive out bogus digital private money.
She clearly would be somebody that rejects any type of digital asset that's not controlled by a central authority. They don't like Bitcoin. They don't like some of these other things. And the reason is they don't control it. That's why they don't like it.
Governor DeSantis and I then talked for almost an hour about other things, like Florida's new law governing sex education. about his anti-mask mandates when COVID hit, about immigration and his flying migrants to Massachusetts. I asked him some tough questions and we had a good discussion. I'll post that full interview soon.